Has it ever occurred to you that not only can the Democrats handpick their candidates, but they prefer Republican as opposed to progressive policies? Yes, that has in fact occurred to me. Now, the issue is that we do in fact have a Democratic say in who gets elected. Now, the Democratic Party can throw money and charisma, they can throw money at a candidate, for sure. We saw an example with this with Andrew Cuomo, who was the former governor of the state of New York. We saw an example of this with Bill Clinton and the DNC coming out to endorse Andrew Cuomo in New York City's mayoral race. And we also saw the people of New York show up to that primary, and they said, fuck no, get the fuck out of our city. And what I'm asking for is for other people to do the same. Because ultimately, what it means to live in a democracy is not to simply passively accept what money chooses to throw down your gullet. What ultimately matters is how we choose to spend our time and our effort and our labor. So all I'm asking for is for people to utilize their time and effort for the candidates that they actually believe in, instead of just waiting passively to be handed a ballot in 3 years. Like sitting and being like, oh man, we face an uphill struggle. Yeah, like no shit. You know who else faced an uphill struggle for rights and freedom? Every working person that has ever existed in history. We used to live under kings and queens. We used to live under like tyrants and dictators. We used to live under the thumb of like god emperors. And each and every one of those motherfuckers died. We are the ones who ultimately inherit the earth, the working people of the world. And all I'm asking for is that we recognize that and live up to that responsibility and govern ourselves. But that requires the effort of going out and knocking on doors. That requires the effort of showing up for our communities. That requires the effort of going to meetings where people actually have these conversations, where the decisions for the community are actually being made. Like, we tore down the company towns and fought off the Pinkertons. We have had it worse. So let's step up now before we lose the gains that people lived, fought, and died for. Like, yeah, no shit, it's gonna be hard. But, like, again, a democracy is only ours if we fight for it. And honestly, if we're not willing to show up to a goddamn meeting under the easiest conditions, we're not gonna be willing to step up with like a gun if things really hit the fan. Can I ape this speech at my first meeting? Sure, maybe don't like mention the gun. All right, but like the rest, for sure. I'm going to show up my next Democrats meeting. I'm going to recruit my friends and boyfriend. We are wanting to start a DSA chapter. That's exactly right. You should organize outside of the Democratic Party and then show up inside the Democratic Party as well. One of the things I have been consistent in doing is saying that you should organize within the DSA and show up to your Democratic Party. Organize people in your DSA to radicalize your local Dems. Because again, what we need right now is a goddamn hostile takeover of the Democratic Party. Because right now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, you look around, you talk to some liberal wine moms, they are spitting mad. And here's an example of this. Here's an example of this. Here's what I mean. Okay? This is a video that's been going a little bit viral. Okay? Let me show you what I mean.
Don't fucking push me.
So as you can see, ICE is doing its thing of being masked thugs, disappearing people off the street. This is at a Home Depot in Encinitas, in California, I believe. I don't know where Encinitas is. I believe it's California. They're just like doing the fascist thing of disappearing people off the streets.
You're taking him before I can take a phone number from him?
You need to stop right there.
You need to stop kidnapping people off the fucking streets.
100%.
You just dragged him away when I'm trying to call his family for him.
We're making an arrest. You need to stay
Show
back
me your
from my
arrest
way.
warrant then. Show me your arrest warrant.
I don't need to show you
Yeah,
anything.
because you're a
not,
liar.
You're not an interested party. You have no right to see that.
Stop!
So,
you guys are kidnapping people off the fucking street.
We good? Yep.
Yeah, because what? Because someone came over to help them, you have to rush and get them in the fucking car?
You're being obnoxious in the lady.
Not being obstructive. You're being obnoxious. This is
100%. 100%.
You guys have no conscience.
Yep.
If you're doing something right, take your mask off then. Yeah, you cowards.
And unmarked cars.
Look at me!
I was trying to help them and you have to hurry up and get out of here? F you.
Are these more people in unmarked cars? Yep.
One right there.
Yep. Just trying to like trying to run us over.
Yeah.
Say hi!
Like it's just all these vehicles, just unmarked cars.
Yeah, show your face if you're not a fucking coward. You're doing something that's lawful. Show your face.
Unfucking.
Get out of our fucking city.
Yeah, get the hell out. Go find a job that you can feel good about.
No kidding.
If you're proud of your job, take your fucking.
Can we just like acknowledge this guy right here walking towards the camera, realizing his badge might show too well on
What
camera,
about?
and he
No kidding.
covers it up.
If you're proud of your job, take your fucking mask off.
Seriously.
Disgusting.
So, yeah, look, all I'm saying is, they're losing the Lululemon ladies, okay? They're losing, like, the restraint of, like, the liberal wine moms. I have talked with elderly wine moms who are talking right now about, like, firebombing, like, different establishments. I have heard them talk about the need for, like, executions for, like, ICE like, agencies. Like, they are, like, straight up going nuts out there. So, like, right now, if your goal is to, like, radicalize these people to better politics than liberalism and instead to farther left ideologies, they are open to that right now. And Distron, yes, I had that epiphany after watching this. There are a number of car rental companies in the United States that do business with Customs and Border Patrol and ICE, and they have contracts to rent vehicles to the government for things like this. And so I would suggest one of the courses of action you could get together and discuss with your local DSA, with your local Democrats, is, hey, maybe you can start to systematically apply pressure to the rental companies in your area. How can you start to deprive ICE and CBP of their ability to get these unmarked vehicles? Because they are operating with those vehicles right now out of a place of fear. All of these people, they know they can't be proud of what they do. They know that. And so what they do instead is they retreat inward, they cover their faces, they only socialize with one another. It's very, very incestuous in nature when it comes to these ICE people. But I gotta tell you, this is not gonna get better for the Trump administration as people who would typically consider themselves non-political get radicalized into becoming political, get radicalized into actually protesting and actually saying something. Because guess what? It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do what those women did and start shouting at police or ICE officers. Those are people who could theoretically, like, kill you and argue it's self-defense. Astral Seastar writes over on Twitch, I'm the chair of my county Dems. It was mine, the chair's, the secretary's, and the treasurer's first time ever attending a meeting, and we were all given those positions of power. Our secretary and treasurer are both women under 60, and the chair and I are both queer and under 30. We just had our first meeting that we organized Thursday, and it went pretty well. That is what you can do when you start showing up. You can actually become the radical left that these Democrats who want to do nothing constantly fearmonger about. But do it inside their party until there's no corner where you can hide as a gormless lickspittle to do nothing. And in the hope that, like, oh man, if we do nothing, maybe these fascists won't win, and then we'll be there to pick up the pieces. No, that's not good enough. It's never been good enough. Democrats don't respond to pressure. That's too bad. Everyone responds to pressure. That's the thing. Everyone. The fucking absolute monarchs of France responded to public pressure. The idea that people don't respond to pressure, especially these spineless fucks in the Democratic Party, is insane to me. The defeatism in some of you people is absurd. If you're like, well, the public pressure isn't enough, apply more. Figure out a way to apply more. That is what your job is, right? Like, that is what you do. These people are pussies, right? Like, yeah, they are pussies. When you're talking about Chuck Schumer, you're talking about a guy who's so lonely he had to make up imaginary constituents. Like, you can't like, oh, they're bought and paid for. Well, who gives a fuck? Fight them. Win. They respond to money. So has everyone else in the history of, like, currency. Like, the idea that, like, oh, AIPAC wields more power than the emperors of Rome ever did. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's some quitter shit. What specifically can we do to harass ICE agents to demoralize them utterly? Genuinely continue unmasking them. Continue unmasking them, continue to shame them at every given opportunity, continue to flick the finger at them when you see them, continue to yell at them, continue to record them, sign up to be people at your local immigration courts so that you can, bear witness to them, so you can record more of those videos that can go viral and radicalize more wine moms to ever more bloodthirsty rhetoric. You bully the fuck out of them. You show up like fucking Stacy in like the freshman college clique, and you talk about how ugly they are, how they work for a goddamn pedophile president. You start poisoning the waters of the discourse. Like, fuck, take the gloves off. Time to invest in megaphones and cardboard is now? Absolutely. Put up signs in your town. Put up signs in your local area. Go business to business and ask if you can put up signs to say, hey, ICE, fuck off. Staying with the counterproductive Dems is quitter shit. No, it's worse, wasted energy. Then I want you to be spending your time building another party, because the time to do that is now. The time to do that is now, and every single time I see someone like you, I only see you guys when someone's like, hey, be productive and do something.
In order to have a good time, you have to apply sufficient pressure to the pussies.
That's true, as well as the areas around that. But the issue is, people like you don't go out and form the additional party. And if you don't have the people to take over the Democratic Party, a project that takes significantly less people than forming a third party, I might add, then you do not have the manpower to actually do shit for a third party. If it is an impossible task for you to show up to your local Democratic meetings and radicalize them, you aren't going to be able to radicalize anybody. I'm telling you right now, from being in the rooms that I'm telling you to go into, those people are primed to come to your more radical positions. And at the very least, you can better your local community in that way. Like, fuck. At the very least, like, join your working families party, join your local DSA, do something, you useless fucks. It's not dick riding to say show up at a meeting and radicalize it by taking it over. I like the idea that you're like, oh yeah, you gotta ride the Democrats' dick. You gotta follow Chuck Schumer's line. That's not what I'm saying. The fact that is all you can hear from show up, bring a bunch of your radicalized friends, and take over your local party, that's insane, dog. I'm saying make your policy the policy of your local Democratic Party. You have the ability to do that by just going into the goddamn room and going to the meetings. And if you can't do that, you can't organize a third party. Like, I don't understand. What is the mind block here? If you can't take over your local Dems, you certainly can't form a third party worth a damn. Last time I went to my local Democratic meeting, there was a guy in his 60s who came there for the first time. First political meeting he's ever been to in his entire life. And he's just basically in tears talking about how we all need to do something. We need to like fucking actually act. We need to actually build up our community defenses against these fascist fucks. And like, you're like, no, we can't do anything with that energy. That's wild. The Democrats are a private corporation. They're not. They don't function like that. That is just not true.
100% agreed, Jack. If people can't show up to a meeting and work within the system we have, how the F are they going to do these wild AF things that they dream of?
Like, if you can't even understand the Democrats as a system, then you certainly can't construct a third party. I'm asking you to show up to your local meeting and at least just sit there silently and figure out how the actual apparatus of the party works. Now, if any of you are actually interested in learning more about that, or actively want to, like, join and make things better, you can. Join our Discord, reach out to
The
Dragonfly.
ones against pushing the Dems are more do nothing than the Dems themselves.
It's shocking. It's shocking. At the very least, Chuck Schumer is bought and paid for. Like, at least he's getting money, like, to be useless. God. But, if you are interested in actually doing something, you can join our Discord. If you don't know where to start, you can reach out to Dragonfly in the Discord. She will help you join, like, figure out how to get involved with your local Democratic Party. She will walk you through how to be effective there, how to radicalize them to the left, how to radicalize them to more progressive positions, and how to, like, different things you can do in your local area, okay?
Giving up in advance is in effect no different than obeying in advance.
Indeed. I will also say I recommend highly that you join our Discord and also reach out to GamerG, because GamerG will help you organize within the DSA and will help you organize, like, find your local DSA, or, as some members of this community have done, start their own branches of the DSA in their local communities. Okay? So if you would like to get involved with either of those efforts, please do that, because
people who don't
it's an excellent
understand
way to get
applying
started.
pressure and taking over things aren't going to change anything. What the asterisk do you think a revolution is?
We just have to keep waiting for the revolution to happen, guys. The time is never ripe. We must simply wait. A good billboard facing down an individual ICE agent with psychologically damaging message on them. Honestly, I'm not opposed to, like, billboards saying essentially "fuck ICE." That is expensive, but, like, what's a lot less expensive is essentially signs you can put up on every street corner and in front of every business saying "ICE, fuck off." Grow up. You can't even talk about how the Democratic Party is structured. You don't even know how that works. You're like, well, it's a private corporation, so nothing can happen. That's just not how the party functions. I would encourage you to learn more about what you're talking about before you give in to despair. I guess that's a segment.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, being plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack.